everyone, we're going to graph a secant line for number 3 here, and we already did the other 3 on separate videos. We're going to graph this equation, the secant line, and we're going to find the equation of the secant line from -1 to 1. So if we have the secant line is merely the average rate of change, which is the slope from of this curve. So when you have this slope from some x1 to some x2, you merely connect the dots here, the points, and that is your slope or the average rate of change of that curve. We want from -1 to 1, so all we need to do is find our y values and then use our slope formula. So we're basically doing that first, and let's plug in -1. So that gives you -1 squared plus 2 times -1 minus 8. So this equals 1 minus 2 minus 8, which is going to be -9. And then plug in 1, and that just gives you 1 plus 2 minus 8, and that's going to be 3 minus 8 is -5. Now that we have that, we're going to just use our slope formula here and find the secant line, or the slope. So that's going to be -5 minus a -9 divided by 1 minus a -1. So this equals -5 plus 9, which is 4, and so this equals plus, and this equals plus, and that's 2, so the slope is 2. Now to write our equation of the secant line, you're just going to write y equals mx plus b, and then plug in everything. So we got 2x plus b. Now let's use one of these points. Let's try this one. So y is -5 equals 2 plus b, 2 times 1. So b is -7. I subtracted 2 from both sides. So our equation is y equals 2x minus 7. And that's your equation of the secant line. So that's all you need, and you're done. But I'm going to try to graph this. So I need to remember -9, -5. So, all right. So if we look at this, our y-intercept for that is -8, which is here. I also want to get my x-intercept, so set y equals 0 and factor this. This will be x plus 4, and then x minus 2. So x equals -4, and x equals 2. So we have 2 and -4. All right. And then let's look at some of these points. -1 maps to -9. And 1 maps to -5. So they all have to be on the graph. And we don't really care so much about the vertex, but we'll just, since this is the midpoint, this will be your vertex. So just graph it. I'm going to try to graph a little better here. Connect everything. And it's a bad graph. Let's see. So something like that goes through there, goes through here. All right. So basically that's the graph. And now we want from -9, so here, and then to -5. So basically this curve here, what's the average rate of change of that? So connect those two dots, or points. That's your secant line, which was, I forgot, 2x And the y-intercept should have been -7. So I can kind of go to -7 here. What was this? -8. So -7's right there. So when you're graphing, it gets really close to the line here. All right. So there's a general idea what the graph looks like. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.